Hey everyone, Z here from Untitled, and today we're going to be showing you the most efficient way, or one of the most efficient ways of getting through the station in Resident Evil 2 while the Tyrant's chasing you. So at this point in the game, when you return to a station, you'll trigger the Tyrant's appearance by putting out the fire at the helicopter wreckage, and when you move towards the wreckage, he's going to show up.
Jesus, stay back!
The thing to know about the Tyrant is that while you can stun him with bullets and stuff, I've generally found that it's better to kind of lure him into an open area like this. So when he comes towards you, you can kind of just run in a circle and run past him to get to wherever you need to go. Alternatively, you can also try to get him to throw a punch. So you want to be moving back when he throws a punch, so when he misses and he's stuck in an animation, you can run past him easily. So after you move past the helicopter wreckage, you can turn left and come down the stairs here to the courtyard and cut through the east office to get back to the main hall. You can get to the main hall by going through the art room on the second floor, or the waiting room on the second floor as well, but I've generally found this to be a better way because it seems to get more distance between you and the Tyrant, and it gives you easier access to the item box over here. So the main thing that you need to do during this section of the game is get the 2 electronic parts so that you can get the parking garage keycard to get out of the station. You should already have the first part, which is located in the e-storage room on the 3rd floor, and the second part is located in the clock tower. But getting to a clock tower is a little tricky because it requires you to solve this puzzle right over here in the library. It requires you to move these bookcases in a certain way so that you can form a path on the 3rd floor. So you'll notice that I just moved the rightmost bookcase left by 1 space, and the reason why I did that is because that's where the bookcase needs to be. And I did that first so that when I come back later with the key item that I need to solve the puzzle, it's one less step that I have to do. The linen room over here is definitely worth exploring once you get the diamond key, which you get from the morgue in the parking garage, because it gives you this portable safe, which gives you the spare key, which allows you to open a locker in the safety deposit room, and that gives you an extra inventory upgrade. After you're done with that, you can throw away the key, and I'd say that the inventory upgrade is one of the more important items that you need to get during this section. It can help with inventory management, and it'll just make your life easier overall. The nice thing about this hallway is that it gives you access to the STAR's office as well, which is where you can get the submachine gun for Claire and the Lightning Hawk Magnum for Leon if you're playing as him. The STAR's dongle can be obtained from the locked box, which you get from the interrogation room on the 1st floor of the East Wing. You can get it by using the heart key with Claire or the club key with Leon.
This does not sound like Chris.
Once you've gotten the submachine gun, don't forget to take the USB dongle, by the way. Don't leave it in the PC like I did here, because you need it for an upgrade later on. And you notice that the Tyrant can't actually go into the STAR's office, so if you see him heading one way, you can kind of just run the other way. Try to use the STAR's office to your advantage as much as possible whenever you're going through this area. So now that I have the submachine gun, the next thing I need to do is get this key item that would allow me to solve the puzzle in the library. So this key item that I need is actually located in the operations room, but I'm not gonna be able to do that just yet because of the Tyrant chasing me. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try to get the inventory upgrade first by going through the reception area, going through the first part of the operations room and getting to the other side of the west corridor. You'll notice that this area has become significantly more dangerous. There's a liquor over here now, and even when you get to the other side of the west corridor, there's gonna be another liquor and a bunch of zombies waiting for you there. What I should have done was go through that door over there, which would have allowed me to use the heart key to open the door to get to where I needed to get the key item. But instead we're gonna go get the inventory upgrade first. So just use the spare part and punch in the numbers 203 to open that locker. This is actually a pretty good room to hide in if the Tyrant's chasing you as well, because of the two corridors that you get. You can kind of lure the Tyrant over to one side and then run out the other way while he's chasing you. The nice thing about this area is that there's also a safe room here that you can kind of retreat to if you're ever in trouble. So now that we have the inventory upgrade, we can finally circle back around to the operations room to try to get the key item that we need for the library puzzle. I don't really want to go back the way I came because of the liquor, so instead what I'm gonna do is go upstairs and try to find an alternate way of getting to the library. In this case, I've decided to go up to a third floor, through the west storage room, and then down the ladder to the library. Oh, and there's a liquor here. The good thing about the liquor is that it's generally pretty weak to the grenade launcher. Usually 1 or 2 rounds from the grenade launcher should kill it pretty easily. And cutting through the library here is a pretty safe way of getting back to the main hall and allowing you access to the first floor of the west corridor. It's worth noting here as well that if you're playing as Leon, you can actually get to the operations room with the club key if you go through the reception area. In this case, we're gonna have Claire go through the west office and come out the other side and take a left and open this door. So now that we've used a hard key, we can discard that whenever. And this is a tool that we need to solve the puzzle in the library, which would allow us to get to the clock tower. And this is why it's important to get the inventory upgrade, because there are quite a few items to pick up here, which can be very useful for surviving the new enemies that have shown up in the station. It's also a pretty good idea to have a few sub-weapons on you when you're doing this, because liquors can be dangerous, obviously, but if Mr. X grabs you, it's actually an instant kill unless you have a sub-weapon. And now with the tool, I can finally release this mechanism that's holding the bookcase in place, and I can solve the puzzle. So I've already moved the rightmost bookcase left by 1 space, and now you want to move the middle bookcase, which you just released, right by 1 space. And then for this bookcase, you'll have to move it right twice. So while you're doing this, the Tyrant can actually hit you, but the nice thing that I didn't notice at a point was that he hit me while I was in the animation of moving the bookcase right the second time, so the puzzle's actually already completed and I could have just gone up the ladder and crossed the path. But if he does hit you while you're doing the puzzle and you haven't completed it yet, you can actually lure him away from the puzzle area and kind of make him loop around the area and take the longest route possible so that you have more time to get back to where you need to go and solve the puzzle. And of course at this point you need to make sure that you're carrying the large gear with you, if not you'll have wasted a trip. So once you have the large gear, just go through this door over here and take a right, and you'll see that there's a green herb at the end of the hallway here, and there's a door directly on the right, which is where you need to go, but watch the zombie as he approaches. The nice thing about the clock tower is that no enemies can come in, including Mr. X. So even if you hear his footsteps outside, you don't have to worry too much as you're solving the puzzle. So, like you see here, just put the latch gear in the mechanism that will activate the staircase, and after that, make sure to take out the latch gear because you're gonna need it for another slot upstairs. So from here, just head up the stairs, and you should see another mechanism which holds a small gear, which you need to bring downstairs. So what you want to do is take the small gear, put the large gear here in its place, and then head back down. And from here, just put the small gear in the final mechanism and you'll have solved the puzzle. And this will give you the final electronic part that you need to solve the power panel puzzle for you to get the parking garage key card.
That worked.
And now that you have both parts, you're gonna have to make your way back to the chief's office if you're playing as Claire, or if you're playing as Leon, you'll need to make your way back to the jail cell, which is in the parking garage area. So once you head out of the clock tower, you can take a left to go back to the library, or there's actually an alternate way of getting to your destination, which is once you hit out the clock tower, you can actually go straight, follow the path all the way to open the door at the end of the hallway, which takes you to the e-storage room, and you can take the stairs down. But I like going by this route because of the library just has easier access to the main hall, where you can dump your stuff in the item box if you need to. So once you're back in the main hall, the best way of getting back to where you need to go is through the east corridor and through the east office to cut through the entire corridor. And if you're playing as Leon, you'll want to take a left right here into the watchman's room and through to the break room safe room, and that will take you straight down to the parking garage. But if you're playing as Claire, you want to come back up to the courtyard here, past the helicopter wreckage once again, out the door and then up the ladder, which will take you to the balcony, and then from there you can take the stairs down to the chief's office, which is where you can solve the puzzle. And once you solve the puzzle, you get a key card, and that'll allow you to get out of the station. For the B scenario, when you start the game, the Tyrant's gonna show up way earlier to try to catch you while you're finding 3 medallions. Whether you're playing as Leon or Claire, the route that you have to take through this section of the game is pretty much the same. So for today, we're gonna be showing you the route as Claire. Same thing as with the A scenario, you kinda want to do as much as you can before triggering the Tyrant's appearance. From the times that we played the game, it seems that the trigger point for his appearance is at the West Wing, 2nd floor, right past the Star's office. So once you've collected everything and you feel like you're ready to take him on, this is where you should go. Before that though, don't forget to head to the Star's office and clear out the room. We recommend bringing the electronic device with you just so that you can pick up the battery in the Star's office and combine that immediately for the detonator. At this point, we also have the clue for the Maiden statue, which you can find in the main hall where Marvin's already turned into a zombie. If you take a look at the couch, you'll find a scrap piece of paper which gives you the clue for that statue. So for now, all you can do is collect all the items, but you're going to have to come back later for the submachine gun or the Magnum if you're playing as Leon. And when you're ready, get out of the office, take a left, and Mr. X will show up here.
Jesus, stay back!
Like I said before, you can kind of try to bait him to throw a punch. And when he's in the animation, you can run past him, like so. But this was complete bullshit. I should have been able to run past him, but sometimes it just doesn't work. But if he does grab you though, and when you get up, you do have a very brief window of opportunity of running past him while he's still recovering. From here you can unlock a shortcut into the library. This is a really important shortcut because it gives you much easier access around the station. Collect a map and collect a box over here, which will give you a clue for the lion statue. So now that we have the detonator and the clue for the maiden statue, we're gonna go ahead and go up the ladder in the library and try to get the Maiden Medallion as quickly as possible. So just come up here with the detonator, place it, and it'll blow up in 10 seconds. The cool thing about this particular area is that if you're fast enough and the C4 blows up quickly enough, it would actually block the staircase leading out from the library, and it would prevent the Tyrant from entering. But in this case, I wasn't fast enough, so the door isn't blocked, and he was able to get in soon after I did. And now that we have the Maiden Medallion, we have 2 more medallions to go. However, we still need the clues to figure out the solution to those puzzles, so we need to pick them up first. While you're at it, you also want to pick up this red book right over here. You can actually get both the submachine gun and grenade launcher very early in the game if we're playing through a B scenario, so that's what we're going to be doing soon enough as well. You also notice that the main hall is not infested with zombies, so you'll want to be careful when going through this area. Also worth noting that there's no more item box in the main hall when you're playing through the B scenario, so the closest safe rooms to the main hall are actually the dark room in the west wing or the break room in the east wing. In this case, we're gonna try to go back to the break room because there's a clue that we need to pick up on the way there anyway, and that will give us the solution for the unicorn statue, which we just passed in the library. The clue can be found right here in the watchman's room, right on the table over here, and you'll notice that it gives you the first 2 puzzle solutions for the unicorn statue. This is also a pretty good time to go back to the break room to organize your inventory, get some healing items out. At the same time, you can also examine the box that you just picked up in the library, and you'll notice that it gives you a roll film labeled lion statue. You can go ahead and put that back in the item box since you'll need to head back to the dark room anyway, and since the dark room is a safe room, you can just grab the roll film from there and then develop it at the same time. So at this point, we have a few things we can do. Now that we have the clue for the unicorn statue, we can go get the unicorn medallion. Or, since we have the red book, we can also go get the key item that will allow us to get the submachine gun, and also get the grenade launcher at the same time while we're at it. Because the station is so dangerous at this point in the game when you're playing through the B scenario, it's definitely a good idea to go get the weapons as soon as you can before getting out. It's generally safer as well because you'll be running into lickers, and if you do get into a bad situation with the Tyrant, you can also use your weapons to stun him more easily. So, at the waiting room on the second floor of the east wing, you can use the spade key to get through, and this will give you access to the art room right over here. And in the art room, you can get the weapons locker keycard, which gives you access to the grenade launcher in the safety deposit room. And if you have the red book, you can combine it with the hand and put it on the statue to get the red scepter. Fair warning though, once you pick up this item, a liquor is going to show up in this room. It's not really a big deal. If you're fast enough, you can run past them pretty quickly. Take a quick left here and go back to the courtyard. Wasn't fast enough to dodge a zombie though, so it's also a good idea to have some sub-weapons on you whenever you're going through this area. So from here, again, good time to go back to the safe room to drop all your unnecessary items, and it also gives you a direct path back to the main hall if you're cutting through the east office. Just in case you're wondering, the box that you can open with the jewel, they actually changed the item placement in the B scenario. So when you start the B scenario, the box can actually be found in the men's locker room on the second floor when you head to the STARS office. So now that you have the jewel in the box, you can open it to get the STARS badge, which you can examine to find out that it's actually a USB key, which lets you get the submachine gun. So right now we have both the key items required to get both of those weapons, and after that we can get the remaining 2 medallions and move on to the next part of the game. This is another important shortcut to open up early on once you get the spade key. Once you've opened up all the doors, you can throw away the spade key like any other puzzle pieces that you've already used. This also gives you a good shortcut to the safety deposit room, where you can use the weapons locker keycard to get the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is definitely the more important weapon to get here over the submachine gun, because it's better for stunning Mr. X if you happen to find yourself in a bad situation. You can usually stun him. I believe you can stun him with just one flame or acid round that will knock him down to the ground, giving you plenty of time to just run past him. And after exiting the safe deposit room, this also puts you in a good position to go back to the STARS office when you can get the submachine gun. And at the same time, you can stop by the dark room to develop that roll of film that you got previously, which would give you the solution to the lion statue, which is the final medallion that you need. Once up the dark room, you can take the stairs all the way up to the second floor and back to the corridor that leads to the STARS office and the room leading to the library. And once you've opened up the armory, don't forget to take the USB dongle as well, as you'll need it pretty soon for the submachine gun upgrade. In the B scenario, you actually get the upgrade way earlier than in the new game, so you can actually upgrade your guns pretty quickly in this run. From here, just take a left, follow the corridor, and you should end up back in the library where you can now solve the puzzle for the unicorn statue. For the clue we got for the unicorn statue, it only gives us the first two puzzle solutions. So once we enter those two, we kind of have to wing it a little bit and try the different slots until we get the right one. It shouldn't take too long though. Another thing to note there, you'll notice that when Mr. X opens the door, you actually have a few seconds to run past him really quickly. So if you're ever in a chase and you need to run past him, try to get a door between you and the Tyrant, so that when he opens the door, you can just run past him immediately. And now that we're back in the main hall, we also have the clue for the lion statue, which we can solve right here. And that will give us the Maiden Medallion. And now that you have all three medallions, you can just go back down to your first floor, put them on the statue, and you'll be able to move on. Even though the Tyrant's still chasing you here, like once you enter the room, he's not gonna be able to follow you in, so you're safe. And that's pretty much it. The most important thing to note is you just have to be able to take alternative paths whenever the Tyrant's chasing you, and you'll be fine. Don't forget to grab all the weapons before leaving, and you should be able to get through it easily. And that's it. I hope this video helped. Feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel if we helped you out, and we'd really appreciate it.